The new season of Black Mirror just dropped this week, and it's safe to say the reception has been mixed. Fans are voicing concerns like, bring the British vibe back, it's not as dark as it used to be, it doesn't even feel like Black Mirror anymore. And while those are valid critiques, today I'm going to dive deeper into why Black Mirror just doesn't hit the same anymore. But to understand the true downfall of Black Mirror, we have to rewind to the early days. Black Mirror Season 1, created by British writer Charlie Brooker, premiered on Channel 4 in 2011. It had just 3 episodes: the national anthem, 15 million merits, and the entire history of you. And despite its small budget, the first season was extremely well received. Critics even compared it to The Twilight Zone, but with a modern, tech-savvy twist. It was dark, bleak, shocking, and thought-provoking. Everything you could want from a series exploring the darker side of technology. Watching it, you didn't even feel like you were watching a show. It felt more like you were glimpsing into an alternate reality. And the scary part, that reality wasn't so far from our own. The early seasons served as a warning. The way we're heading with technology could end in disaster. Fast forward to 2015, after a successful run on Channel 4, creative disagreements led to Netflix acquiring the rights to Black Mirror. With Netflix's bigger budget and a larger global reach, the show expanded from 3 episodes to 6 per season. This meant high-profile actors, larger production values, and international filming. Charlie Brooker, once working for a late-night TV channel, now had the creative freedom and financial backing to take Black Mirror to new heights, but did he bite off more than he could chew? Season 3, which premiered in 2016, was the first season under Netflix's umbrella. The reception was overwhelmingly positive. Black Mirror had a global cult following, and episodes like Shut Up and Dance, Playtest, and San Junipero became fan favourites. Shut Up and Dance tackled online hacking and privacy in a way that made you question your every move online. Playtest was a terrifying look into augmented reality, and San Junipero gave us a rare, bittersweet, happy ending, proving Black Mirror wasn't just about grim, dystopian futures, it was capable of exploring humanity in its entirety. It's also worth noting that for the episode San Junipero, it was supposed to actually have an unhappy dark ending, typical to how Black Mirror usually did their endings, but they decided to rewrite the script and change it to a happy ending. Maybe a first sign of Charlie Brooker and his team wanting to move away from the usual dark and gritty Black Mirror vibe. So, now we are deep into the Netflix era, and they are pushing out a new season every couple of years or so. The show grew massively in popularity, and there wasn't anyone with a Netflix account that hadn't seen Black Mirror. Season 4 premiered in December of 2017, and many regard this as the final season that really captured that true Black Mirror vibe. Season 4 had some great episodes such as Black Museum, Hang the DJ, and USS Callister, but it also had some weaker, more forgettable episodes such as Metalhead and Archangel. Now, Archangel and Metalhead aren't bad episodes by any means, and are still very much in line with the negative impacts of technology, but at this point, Black Mirror fans set the show at such a high standard, and episodes like these were maybe the starting point that told us Charlie Brooker and his team were running out of new ideas for the show. Also, it's worth noting that the episode, Hang the DJ, chose to go down the light-hearted happy route, similarly to the Season 3 hit episode San Junipero, leading fans to confusion on what Black Mirror was even more. Was it this dark show that woke us up to the negative impacts of technology, or was it turning into something entirely different? Well, Season 5 released in 2019, and with fans now having slight doubts over the show going in, it seemed like the worst time for Charlie Brooker and the Black Mirror team to make monumental changes to the show. Some of these changes were, instead of having 6 episodes in a season, they reduced it to 3, promising higher quality episodes with movie-length runtimes. They also changed the theme and direction in these episodes, making the technology element seem more backgrounded, rather than technology being the main villain like in previous seasons. The topics in Season 3 were shallow, less sharp, and poorly explored, some even comparing Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2 to a Disney show. Now, to be fair to Black Mirror, some people may have just compared that episode to a Disney show just because Miley Cyrus plays the leading role as a pop star, but there's no denying the episode was cheesy, tonally a mess, and it just felt way too safe, especially compared to the show's dark roots. With doubt over the show's direction already looming in the fanbase, the last thing Black Mirror needed was a reason for people to hate the show. This season should have just been about going back to their roots exploring new terrifying techie ideas and basically just giving the fans what they want. But instead, they cut the episode amount, increased the runtime, essentially turning episodes into movies, changed the tone completely, and went all out hiring A-list actors such as Anthony Mackie and Miley Cyrus. Black Mirror used to feel like you were a fly on the wall, watching events play out in a technologically advanced alternate reality, but Season 5 felt like you were just watching a semi-decent basic Hollywood movie. It felt gimmicky, like Black Mirror wasn't Black Mirror anymore, but a less good copy of itself. It broke the immersion, it broke the aura and the feeling of mystery when usually watching an episode, and to say Season 4 was the poorest season to date, well, Season 5 showed they had no intention on returning to their roots, and instead, this new vibe and tone is something that we're going to have to get used to. So where does Charlie Brooker and the Black Mirror team go from here? Season 5 was very poorly received, with the lowest ratings to date on websites such as Rotten Tomatoes, and many fans saying it just didn't feel like Black Mirror. Did they call it quits and stop the show at Season 5? Does Charlie Brooker hand the keys to someone else with fresh new ideas? Or does Charlie and his team back themselves to redeem themselves and get to work on a new season? Well, as we know, Netflix weren't going to let Charlie go that easy, and Netflix were money hungry, so Charlie got back to work on a new season right away. As we've established, Season 5 left Black Mirror's identity in question. The show felt directionless. Was it still about society and technology, or was it now just weird, quirky movies? Critiques and fans both noticed that Black Mirror's critique on tech was fading, and the show wasn't insightful or disturbing anymore. Charlie Brooker even said in interviews that real-world events like the pandemic and political chaos made it harder to write dystopias because the reality was already even worse. But after 4 long years, in 2023, Season 6 released, and with there being a long gap between Season 5 and 6, many wondered if the show could still be relevant after being gone for so long, and could it recapture that magic after the failure of Season 5? Well, Charlie Brooker and his team once again took another risk in changing the tone and concept of the show, saying in interviews for Season 6 he wanted to reinvent the show, and that not every episode would be about technology, and instead, some of the concepts would be more of a supernatural horror vibe, and that he also wanted to explore alternate history concepts. So once again, Black Mirror fans were left confused watching Season 6, and I think at this point we were all thinking, what even is Black Mirror anymore? Season 6 had some highs, such as Loch Henry and Beyond the Sea, and some lows. And when I say lows, I mean lows. The episode Maisie Day is easily the worst Black Mirror episode of all time. No doubt about it. Ask anyone and they will agree. But episodes such as Beyond the Sea capture that Black Mirror magic, giving us gripping stories that disturb us and make us want to sit in silence for an hour after watching them. The other episodes I haven't mentioned, such as Joan is Awful and Demon 79, received mixed reviews. I know some said Joan is Awful also captured that Black Mirror magic, but some of the fanbase also despise it, and unfortunately, I am in the latter. You might notice that when I'm talking about Season 6, it's a little bit messy and all over the place, and that's because that is the reality of it. It was a mess. This season divided the fanbase even more. Even though Season 6 wasn't bad television, the fans were divided, leaving Black Mirror in a major identity crisis. So, that leads us into the newest season that has just hit the screens, Season 7. Clearly, despite the mixed reviews on previous seasons, Charlie was determined to keep making Black Mirror, so you have to give him props for that. But at this point, most fans were kind of already over Black Mirror. We knew we weren't getting the episodes like from the early seasons. A lot of the ideas in the show were recycled and had been done before, and it was kind of just like, what else can they do at this point? We didn't want to see these goofy-ass supernatural ideas where people turn into werewolves. We want that raw, gritty, grounded, thought-provoking show that we all once loved. Is that too much to ask for? Well, maybe it is. Don't get me wrong, Season 7 isn't terrible. It's actually not bad at all. But after all that's happened with the direction the show has gone in, does Black Mirror even feel like Black Mirror anymore? I know that's quite a cliche critique, but hear me out. Black Mirror used to feel like it was speaking to that bit of us that didn't even realise our brains had been totally hacked and rewired by technology, and that we're ultimately going to be inevitable victims of technology one way or another in our lifetime. It woke us up to the dangers of technology, whilst giving a thought-provoking critique on society at the same time. I can't stress enough how thought-provoking the older seasons of Black Mirror was. It felt like when we were watching it, it was waking us up to all these dangers that we weren't aware of before. And honestly, Black Mirror used to feel like it was waking us up from all that brain rot, but now, after these past few seasons, it feels like Black Mirror is now just a part of that brain rot. It's just another show to binge, teaching us nothing of importance, but hey, at least it's mildly entertaining though, right? And that's how I'd describe Season 7, mildly entertaining, which might not sound bad, but if you compare it to the words I'd used to describe earlier seasons such as riveting and masterful, it shows Charlie Brooker and his team have no intention on going back to the magic of earlier seasons. And don't get me wrong, like Season 6, it definitely has some highs, such as the heartfelt episode Eulogy. I'll be honest, I really liked this episode, but again, it was super heartfelt and ended on a happy ending, which definitely was fitting for the episode, don't get me wrong, but come on man, I don't want to cry happy tears when watching Black Mirror, I want to get that what the fuck feeling. And so was episode 1, Common People, which in my opinion is the most Black Mirror-esque episode we've had in years. It had fucked up technology and a disturbing ass ending. Can't complain. There was also Black Mirror's first ever sequel, USS Callister Into Infinity, and again, pretty cool. No major complaints, just pretty cool. Did it really feel like a Black Mirror episode though? Meh, kinda. Was it just decent television? Sure. You then have the more forgettable episodes in Plaything and Hotel Reverie. Both of them just kinda meh. And then there's also Betty Noir, which had me interested at the start and had me pulling my hair out by the end. So did Season 7 revive that Black Mirror magic with brand new, fresh, thought-provoking ideas? Absolutely not. If anything, they did the opposite and tried something that kind of breaks that Black Mirror mystique and did sequels to previous episodes from other seasons. And that's not a critique of USS Callister or Plaything, by the way. It's more of a critique of Black Mirror and the direction they have headed to. Was there fresh new ideas in Season 7? No. Even arguably the strongest episode, Common People, has a pretty similar plot to Be Right Back from Season 2. A loved one dies, a technology is able to bring them back from the dead, but they aren't the same when they come back. We have seen it before. It's like when Black Mirror decides to give the fans what they want and make a dark episode with technology as the central theme, it's just stuff we have seen before. No fresh new ideas, just a twist on old ones. And that's kind of where I'm at with Black Mirror. Where do they go from here? Well, Netflix will no doubt force Charlie Brooker and his team to get right back to work and start writing Season 8. And will I watch it? Absolutely. Will I have high hopes? Absolutely not. I think it's clear from Charlie expressing in interviews that he wants to reinvent Black Mirror and make it less about technology, that he's running out of ideas for concepts, and that's understandable. One's mind can only come up with so many ideas, and I don't hold that against Charlie. But maybe he should consider hiring a new ideas team or something, just to take the pressure off himself and let very capable writers go to work with the sole purpose of capturing that old Black Mirror magic. I've seen numerous films recently where I'm watching it and I'm thinking, damn, this would have made an awesome Black Mirror episode. One that comes to mind is I Am Mother on Netflix. Great film, you should check it out. My point is, there's some very capable writers out there that can create awesome stories that would totally fit the Black Mirror vibe. So maybe the best route for Charlie would be to hand the keys over to Netflix to hire some of the best writers in the game and make the best freaking episodes. And of course, Charlie can still be involved and have a say on things. I'm not saying boot him out entirely, I'm just suggesting maybe it's time for someone with new, fresh ideas to come in. I mean, I'm sure working endlessly on a show for over 15 years, you'll get burnt out, and ultimately I think that burnout is a huge factor in why we've seen a drop-off. But yeah, I guess I'll just end it with this. Maybe Black Mirror used to wake us up, but now it's just helping us fall back asleep. Anyway, I'll be curious to hear what you guys think in the comments down below, and let's have a conversation about this. What do you think about the current state of Black Mirror? Do you think they ever have a chance of recapturing that magic from earlier seasons, or are you happy with where the show's at? If so, let me know in the comments and I'd love to hear your views. If you have an opposite take on this, I'm all ears. But anyway, thanks for watching. I am a new content creator, so I'll be hoping to make videos similar to this once every couple of weeks. So if you could subscribe for the journey, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks a bunch.